What's up guys, Brennan here, back with another video. Today we're going to be learning the song Something in the Way by Nirvana, which is featured in the new Batman movie, which I loved by the way. And yeah, I came up with this really cool piano arrangement for it. For those of you that follow me on Instagram, I did post it there a couple weeks ago, so feel free to check out the arrangement there. But I'm actually gonna play it for you all before we get into the video, and then I'm gonna break it down how to learn that particular arrangement. Before we get started, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of my future piano tutorials, original songs, covers, and educational videos. All right guys, let's get right into it. So let's break down how to learn it. So we're just going to break it up section by section. So the first part, you have like a little intro before you get into the singing. So it's like this. So what that is your left hand is going to stretch here and play F with your pinky and thumb with F. So you're playing F down here and F up here. So you do that twice, and then you jump down to C sharp. So it's like, and you hold that one. And in the right hand, you're gonna have your thumb here on G sharp, pointer finger here on C, and your pinky up on F. So it's gonna go 2 times, and then your thumb moves down here to F, but the other 2 stay exactly the same on C and F. So you're going from G sharp to F. And you hold that. So that all together is. Let's try this together. So here we go. Same time. Then you go single, single, together. Okay, so same time, single, single, together. Without me talking? Hold it. Then you repeat. Alright, so the melody here you're going to start with on this first section is. So that's F, and you're hitting it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the first 2 are quicker. So it's like. Hold out the last one, and then you repeat again. Okay, then this is a vocal part that Kurt sings, so then he adds in these 2 keys, so that's D sharp, C sharp, and then you repeat. Repeat. Still hitting this one 5 times. in the original song, he does this like 10 times total or something like that. So that continues on. So now on the left hand, you're gonna go F, C, F, G sharp. So it's pinky on F, C, F, cross over to G sharp. And then you go C sharp with your pinky, G sharp with your pointer finger, C sharp with your thumb, and you cross over to F. So you do each one 4. 1, 2, 3, cross over 4, switch, 1, 2, 3, cross over 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, repeat. Okay, so now we're going to put both hands together. So it goes like this. You start doing it at the same time. So it's, and the second F, because remember you do this 5 times. So it goes right in between before you hit C in your left hand. So it's like this. That's a really tricky timing, but that's the best way I can explain it is you do the first 2 really quick. So first one, same time, and then that's when you play the C. So it's almost like the F comes in between the left hand part. So it's first you do it same time, then you do it again real quick, and then it goes in between. So starting on, and then you switch. So exact same time, second one really quick, and then you do C, and then it's in between, in between. So on that next part, you're just holding this F here. You don't play anything else on this next part. So all the Fs, the 5 Fs, need to go on this first strip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that repeats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. And then remember, we got to add in these 2 keys. So then it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, when you go to C sharp, that's when you add the 2 keys. So it's, so right when you move to this C sharp is when you go da da. So it's, same time. Watch me without talking. Then that continues, and then it gets into the part where it goes. Then we get into the melody. Now before we do that, the left hand, the way that I did this arrangement is the left hand is kind of really heavy-handed. So you're doing a lot in the left hand and not as much in the right hand because that's when you do the melody. So the left hand is doing something that I want to get into right now, which is called an arpeggio. Now if you're unfamiliar with that, it's when you take a chord on the piano, for instance, it's this one, okay? And it's called a broken chord. So instead of playing all of those keys at the same time, you separate it. And you continue that. So that's those 3 keys. Okay? Now the way that I do this, how many times you're going to be doing it in this song is you're going to play it 8 times. So it's going to be like this. 1, skip this one, and go to C. Then you go to F. So that's 1, 2, 3. cross over 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you're only playing those 3 keys, you're just changing the order. So you're skipping the middle one when you first go up. It's almost like it's doing a jump so that your hands can then move over. So it's like this, pinky on F, pointing finger on C, thumb on F, cross over to G sharp, pointing finger on C, F, C, G sharp. And sometimes in this arrangement, I'll go back and forth. And that's the reason why I said you need to do it 8 times, is because as long as you hit 8 keys here, you're good. So here's an example. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. See how I didn't go up higher? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I did it 8 times. Now I could change it and do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I switch to the next arpeggio, because then you're moving from here to here. So now I'm breaking up all of these keys all up and down the piano. So I encourage you to pause the video and practice this, because this is an advanced piano technique here. So I encourage you to pause the video and practice doing this. So as long as you're hitting 1, 2, 3, these 3 keys are all you hit up and down the piano. Up here, 1, 2, 3. See, it's the same. As long as it's these keys, obviously they're changing order and they're doing all different things, but it's still F, G sharp, C. Okay? F, G sharp, C. And you're doing it 8 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? Then you switch to the next one. So it's these 3 keys now, which is C sharp, F, G sharp. So what I do is I do the same thing. I skip the middle one. So I start on C sharp, skip F here and go to G sharp. Then you go to C sharp again, cross over to F, G sharp, C. Then you go, and that equals 8. I just vary it a little bit in the song. So if you want to just keep it nice and simple, you can go back and forth, back and forth. Next one. I want you to pause the video and practice this an ungodly amount of times to where your left hand kind of does it automatically. Because you need to know when you end here, you need to jump immediately to C sharp, F, G sharp, C sharp, F, G sharp. Okay? So the arpeggio you're making out of these and these, all up and down the piano. So instead of playing them together like that, you're just breaking it up. Break it up. Hopefully that makes sense. If you have any questions on that, drop a comment down below and I will try and help out on that. But we're going to go ahead and move on for time's sake here. Now that you're familiar with the arpeggio in the left hand, this is in the part of the song when it starts the chorus, something in the way. So what you're going to be doing in the right hand is C. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and on 5 you go up to C sharp. And then it goes C, G sharp. So try that with me. Hold it. Then you go. And then it goes C, 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 G sharp. And then it goes. So that second part is something in the way. Yeah. So just to go over those, it's C, 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 G sharp, F, D sharp, C, G sharp. So without me talking, the whole part is. Okay, so now all we have to do is put both parts together. Now the best way I'm going to teach this is because since you're doing so much in the left hand, all you have to know is that you do it 8 entire times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then you switch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that's going to kind of like keep the rhythm. So as far as putting in the right hand in there, that's going to be a little bit of a timing challenge for you, but it's going to be like this. I'm going to play it nice and slow and try it with me here. So you're going to do it, these two at the same time. So when it's something in the way is when you need to be switching now to the next one. So it's switch. And then when you go, you switch again, switch. So let's just go over that nice and slow. This is where knowing the left hand down pat really comes in handy, because if you still have a tension on your left hand and then you're trying to add the melody in there, you just need to know that you got to go back and practice it at a lower level of just doing the left hand on its own and then adding the right hand in there. So let's go over this one more time. So it goes, these two, you need to be playing a C at the same time. So it's, and then it goes, and then this is the same time. So try that with me. Switch. Nothing in the right hand. And then you go, same time. This at the beginning, then you switch and you do this at the beginning, and then the next part is switch, so that's switch. Then this is where you go. And then you switch. I know this seems really tricky, and it's just because it's hard to teach the arpeggio part, because your hand kind of automatically, like my hand plays it different every single time. But the way to kind of visualize it is that the timing is what's important here, not what the keys you're playing. Like if you were to play this 10 times instead of 8 times, then it would throw your timing off. But because you're playing each one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's because I'm not changing the timing. Think of your left hand doing this almost like the drummer keeping the beat of the song. Drummer keeping the beat of the song, but your left hand's doing it. And then all you kind of have have to mentally pay attention on is the melody, the vocals of the song, which you're playing in the right hand, okay? So that's a very important tip here. Now we're gonna go ahead and learn the next part here. So now that we've learned the something in the way, do, something in the way, yeah. So this whole arpeggio, this entire part repeats over and over. So you do this a few times. Same time. Same time. Next part. Now, the left hand stays exactly the same. The right hand, what I then do is instead of playing it with one set, I do what's called octaves. So I play the same thing down here that I was just playing, but I also add it in my pinky and I play the same thing. So it's like same keys that we learned. So see how it's the same thing that you were playing just a second ago? But now you're adding in your pinky and you're doing it at the same time. So the only important thing to know when doing this is you keep the same formation. You almost kind of have your hand rigid. So it's just staying there during this part, okay? So just to go over that on its own. Then okay? So the left hand, again, stays exactly the same. Just focus on hitting the 3 keys 8 times. No matter if you change it up here or you go back and forth between these two, as long as you hit each thing 8 times, switch, 8 times, switch, okay? So here we go. Switch. 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 Then you go. Switch. Switch. I find that when you try and slow down doing the whole arpeggio for the sake of learning it, it's almost harder because you lose the timing of it. So I know that I'm playing it pretty quick, but this is just kind of the easiest way I'm able to teach this. So again, if you have any questions at all, I can definitely try and help down in the comment section below. Okay, so then after we do that a few times, then we keep the left hand the same, which is good. Now that we've learned this tricky left hand, we keep that the same, and then in the right hand, we go. So we play a chord here, which is a group of notes played at the same time, like that. So it's F, G sharp, C, F with your pinky. If you're having trouble stretching all the way up here, just drop the pinky and play these 3. But it's F, G sharp, C, pinky. And you go 1, 2, 3, and then you go D sharp on its own. So it's hold the last one. Okay, and then the left hand stays exactly the same. So let's put both together here, nice and slow. And then the third one, you hold it out when you go to this next part in the left hand. And then when you go up to this key, G sharp is when you play the D sharp in the right hand. So it's all together. Hold. Remember, you play these two at the same time. Okay? So let's try that. And then I kind of slow it down, quiet it down. And I usually end on these two keys. Okay, now the only other thing is the piano pedal. Do I need the piano pedal for the song? Yes, you do. And if you're not familiar with what the piano pedal does, is basically instead of making the piano sound, it kind of blends all of it together. So the pedal I'm referring to is the pedal all the way to the right at the bottom of your piano. So what you're going to be doing for this song is every time you switch from one part in the left hand to the next, you hold down on the pedal, lift off, and push back down. So what I mean by this is, so let's take the beginning section, right? You go. Now I'm switching chords, okay? I'm going to this one. If I were to hold the pedal down the whole time, it would blend all of those things and they would kind of clash together. So give it a listen. Sound terrible, but you also don't want to have them all blended together. So what you do is before you start, you push down on the pedal and you go, hold it down. Now, immediately when I go to change to the next part, I lift quickly and push back down as soon as I hit the first part. So it's like this. Push down at the beginning. And right when I hit this, I lift and push back down. And I do the same thing here. Lift, push back down. Lift, push back down. Lift, push down. Lift, push down. Lift, push down. Lift, push down. Let's take the next part when you're doing the arpeggio. You do the same thing. As soon as you start on this key, you push down. And then when you move to the next one, you lift, push down. Switch, lift, push down. It does take a little getting used to, but it almost comes automatically the more you practice it. So I'm going to give you an example. You push down here before you start, and you go. Same thing. As soon as I hit this key, I lift and push back down. Boom. Boom. Throughout the entire song. So with that, we now have come to the close of today's tutorial. This one is pretty tricky with the left hand technique that you're doing. It's a pretty advanced technique, so you definitely should be proud of yourself and don't be hard on yourself if you haven't gotten it right away. I encourage you to practice this a ton. Practice is key for getting this song down. And like I said, if you have any questions, you can definitely let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. It helps me out a ton, and it also helps you out because then you don't miss out on any of my future videos. Don't forget to create art, and I'll see you guys next time.